Seeing goblins. Appreciating goblins. Succubus with goblins.
And we don't want no problems. Okay, you're a go. What's a go?
Jaden, you're alive. You're alive. I thought you were dead. Everybody thought you were dead. They were like, so you guys done doing pod goblins because Jaden died? And I was like, yeah, dude, it was really bad. You know, I don't know how you died. Nobody told me, but I thought you were dead. So you're not dead?
I'm not dead. No. Been busy with work. Got a new job. Been doing school. Going back for my master's.
Blow or foot?
You know me, dude. I'm classy. Hands.
Foot.
All right. Yeah, foot. Nah, it's been a busy month or so. So kind of taking some time to chill out. But a lot of the stuff we wanted to do, we're still gonna get to just later. Like we kind of decided recently that we're just gonna do Halloween this month and then move on from there.
Yeah.
But
although there's nothing stopping us from dropping another episode next week now that I think about it. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's more or less that I'm just a very unreliable bitch. And in the sense of like, I just kind of get caught up in like my own stuff, like doing my own thing. And
yeah.
But to my credit, I was the one that reached out to Jaden the other day and I was like, hey, so we need to record this week. And of course he was like, oh, still about to text you. Yeah, sure you were. But regardless, yeah, man, I've just been putting my head down and I put content out every freaking day. So yeah, I was actually really looking forward to doing this because I was like, yes, no editing today. I can record this and then just upload it tomorrow. Awesome. I do have to make a thumbnail, but whatever, that won't take long.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys know what time it is. It's October. You know my favorite franchise. You know Jaden's favorite franchise. You knew this was coming. You knew we were going to do this, and this will be dropping a week from Halloween. If you guys are listening to this, unless you're listening on Patreon, today is Friday the 24th. So it's a week till Halloween. You have a week to get balls deep into this episode. This will probably be closer to like a 2-hour long episode because 1, there's 13 movies. 2, it's both of our favorite franchise. So like we're gonna chat a little bit about it. I've got some new video clips in here, some sound effects in here to go at Jaden tonight because I'm fully expecting to do so. So, I watched Instagram Reels for like an hour and then I decided, okay, I should probably get some video clips in there. Jaden, we're going to do this like we have always done this. We're going to start with the first movie in the franchise. But before we do, I want to ask you, do you remember your first memory with the Halloween franchise? What was the movie? When did you watch it? Where did you watch it? What did it do to you in the pants?
So my first memory watching Halloween was probably with my sister. I would have been 5 or 6 years old, and we watched Halloween 2. Now, I know that's kind of like a weird starting point. Not that one. The original Halloween 2. But yeah, it's kind of a weird film in hindsight for like a young kid to watch because we'll get into it, but it's definitely slower. But I don't know. I loved it. I was specifically terrified in one scene, which again, I'll get to later, but it scared the shit out of me and it made me fall in love with Michael Myers. And yeah, it's just kind of been that way ever since. Like I've loved this series. I went back and watched all of them. Yeah, dude, he's hot.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. What about you? Like, I know you've probably talked about it, but I don't know if we've talked about it.
It's Halloween 5, man. I remember the house we were living in. It was a blue house. I lived there till I was 5 or 6. It was on a road called Woodruff Road, which is out in the Claremont County. I can't remember exactly like what school district or whatever. If anybody is familiar with that area, Woodruff Road. was a blue house right before a big hill where actually a group of teenagers died right outside our house once because they decided to go hill hopping, going like 125 miles an hour. And I remember getting off the bus one day and there was paramedics shit everywhere. And I was like, what's going on? And that was actually my first experience with a dead body. I saw one of the bodies on a stretcher and I was like, oh, yeah, they all died.
Okay.
So kids, don't go 125 miles an hour and go hill hopping. Not going to be a bad time. But I remember like that family room and I remember watching Halloween 5 or parts of Halloween 5. I don't know if I watched the whole thing, but I remember my mom coming in and I can't remember if I think it was my uncle, my dad's brother, which obviously don't associate with that side of the family anymore. But I think my mom was like, is this the one with the little girl that won't shut up? And he was like, yeah. And she's like, oh my God, stupid. And walked away. So I vividly remember that. And she still says that about 4 and 5 to this day, by the way, guys. It's like the little girl that won't shut up. Ah, so stupid. But I remember being like, this is kind of freaky. I don't like this. It's a little kid. Like, this dude's trying to kill a little kid. That's not a fair fight. And I was just kind of mesmerized by that for a while. And then when I was like 10 was when I really started to watch these things on like AMC Fear Fest and stuff, and then start collecting the movies. And it just went from there. And now I'm a, jobless nerd virgin. Yeah, that's my memory.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, with our first memories of the Halloween franchise out of the way, we got to set the stage. We're going in chronological order here, guys, but we will give the ranking at the end. I did a ranking recently. People had some stuff to say. So I just want to start off by saying, obviously, we're talking about the original, the classic, John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween. Look, I mean, from the first time I saw this thing, I loved it. I still talk about this, and I actually mentioned this in a recent video, that the last 15 minutes or so, actually, if I'm being specific, I think it's actually technically 17 minutes from when Laurie walks outside and locks the door to the end credits to go over to the Wallace house. That is like the best sequence in cinema for me. Like a lot of people will talk about like, this moment in Titanic or in whatever it is, like that's the peak of cinema, Jaws. And for me, it's the last 17 minutes of Halloween, from when Laurie decides to go check on the kids and then go across the street and everything unfolds. I mean, I'm still like kind of mesmerized by that. Like, I really am. I think that is just fantastic. I mean, first of all, you got Michael just being an absolute dick. Like setting up, like, I'm going to put Annie on the bed with my sister's tombstone. Like, I'm a little show for Laurie. Come out of the shadows, chase her. And the best part of the sequence to me, a lot of people mention the sit up and head turn. And obviously that's iconic after she stabs him and he's in the background when she's up against the door frame. But my favorite sequence in that whole scene is when Laurie's banging on the door and the camera keeps cutting to Michael, getting closer to her. And then we go back to the door and then we go back to Michael. It's still like, as a human, there's something about us like being chased and stuff and like feeling trapped and like something's getting closer and getting closer. And you're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, it's still, that's like butthole clenching, like it's like one of those things. And, but yeah, I mean, look, I don't need to give you guys any history on Halloween. You all know it was made for $300,000, $320 if you want to get technical, because 20 went to Donald Pleasance. Shot in the spring in South Pasadena, California, 1978. Shot in 3 weeks. You know all the details. This thing is the immortal classic for a reason. I don't know what else to say. I loved it since I've seen it. I still love it to this day. It is my favorite movie, not just my favorite horror movie. It is my favorite movie of all time. I'm on record as saying I don't think it's the greatest horror movie ever. I can be objective enough and say, like, I don't think it is the greatest. Just in terms of cultural significance and impact and everything, I would say The Exorcist personally. But it is my favorite. So this is a perfect 5 out of 5 for me. Jaden, take her away.
Yeah. So yeah, we're coming up pretty quickly on the 50th anniversary of this movie, so there's not much I can say to kind of add to, I guess, the history of that and like film scholarship and any of that. But I can tell you about my history with it. And I think I first saw this on AMC Fear Fest because I also was very big into binging every franchise that they would show on that during the Halloween season. And for some reason, I'd seen Halloween 2 and I think also actually 4 and 5 first. And then I actually watched the whole series in a row. And this is far and away the scariest movie in this franchise, in my opinion. Like, there are so many scenes that are like, even today, like, I've seen it so many times, so it's kind of hard to be like actually scared. But if I put myself in the character's position, it's so freaky. Like, even little things like when Annie yells out like "speed kills" and then he stops the car and he just stays there for a second.
Yes.
That is so scary. Like, if somebody did that in real life, I'd be shitting my pants.
Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, it wasn't me. That was my homie, bro. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't say shit.
Yeah. And yeah, the last 17 minutes is perfection. I would say my favorite part of that is probably when she's talking to the kids like, "Oh no, it's all right. It's okay." And then you see him come up and he's just standing there. Like, that is all like that's
Yeah, dude.
also
I've always thought, like, in that moment, did Tommy and Lindsay think, you lying bitch? Like he's right there. You just lied to our faces. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No, that part always gives me chills. But yeah, I mean, it is, in my opinion, a perfect horror movie. I know you said The Exorcist is the greatest. I actually do think Halloween is, to be honest. I don't think there is a scarier movie throughout that I've seen. I don't think there's much plotting. I think it's a breeze. Like, the side characters are all interesting. Michael Myers is the greatest horror villain of all time. And I know people love Laurie, but I think Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis is the greatest like hero in horror history. Um, yeah, I love this movie. Perfect 5 for me too.
so this guy.
All right, everyone. Just calm down. Calm down. All right.
Yeah, that
Okay. Okay. So you for perfect 5 out of 5.
yeah, for sure.
Look, man, I came across an Instagram reel the other day of what looked to be these people like starting a horror podcast, or maybe they've been around for a little bit, but it showed up in my feed because of, being a horror movie person. And it was like one of the co-hosts on the podcast. She's like, I hate the original Halloween. It is so boring. All it is people talking. Dude, the comments roasting her. I immediately opened the comments and I was like, thank you. Like, thank you. Because
Yeah.
I immediately disregard anything anyone has to say if they're like, yeah, dude, I hate the original. That movie's so boring. I'm like, yeah, well, we can't all have good taste. There's certain objective truths in life, like you're going to die. You're going to have to pay taxes unless you're rich. Boobs are awesome. And Halloween is like a perfect horror movie. Like that, those are objective truths in life. And I just feel like, I don't know, like I don't know. It really pissed me off when I saw it though. I was like, you got to be doing this just to get attention. But like, you did not get the attention you wanted. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Well then, Jaden, you start this one off because you said your first memory was Halloween 2 from 1981 and seeing Pamela Susan Shoopies. And I say that because, Shoop, but 2 Shoops. Anyway, go ahead, Jaden. Tell us.
Yeah. I don't know why my sister decided to show me this one, but she did. And I don't know. Like, I think because of that, I know there's been almost like the opposite of reappraisal of this movie over years. There's a lot of people that are becoming like more negative towards it. And I feel like it's getting lower in rankings of the Halloween franchise.
You calling me out? Are you just trying to call me out? Was that like a sneak?
Not
was
you.
That a sneak diss?
I swear it's not just you though. It's a lot of people because it is slow. It gets boring at times for sure. But there's something about this movie, and maybe it is because I saw it at a very impressionable age, and it's because it's the first one that I've seen. Like, I've always found charm in it. And there are certain scenes that I really like, still kind of like the original, where I still feel chills because I'm like, this is like genuinely creepy. I I think it has one of the best chase scenes in the franchise. Like when they're going underneath the hospital. I don't know
Yeah.
that, like where she has to take the elevator, all of that. I always love that.
Yeah,
Um,
and then someone tell me, all you dinosaurs. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But somebody tell me in 1981, did elevator doors not like open automatically if something got caught in them? Because like that's been a thing my entire life. Like if something got in the way, it would open. But like Michael like starts to get his hand in there and it closes anyway. So like I don't
yeah.
know. Anyway, go ahead.
No, yeah, that is weird. In one scene that I didn't appreciate until recently on my most recent rewatch, which I think was last year, but the security guard when he's like
Mr.
opening all the
Garrett.
door, yeah, that whole couple of minutes is
Did you,
like
did you watch my video of the scariest moments in the Halloween franchise?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
That
and
that is
that's the
it's
scene I put on there.
creepy, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's super creepy.
A funny thing about that scene, could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not because I've clocked it before. It's exactly
Mm,
5 minutes. From when he
oh wow,
says to Janet, it'll take me 5 minutes. From that point to when he gets the hammer in the head, it is 5 minutes.
that's pretty great.
So it'll take me
Yeah,
5 minutes to die. Yeah, it took 5 minutes.
this also has and I don't know if people don't talk about this enough, but it has one of my favorite endings in the series. Like the whole thing with him getting shot in the eyes and the blood coming down the mask, and then he's swinging in the fire and him walking out of the fire. And this movie ruined Mr. Sandman for me forever. Like every time I heard that song, I just got chills. I was like, oh, like I felt creeped out.
I love that song, but doesn't the opening sound like fapping? It's like
Yeah, it does.
I'm always like, dude, he's beating it in the fucking booth. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, I've definitely felt some of like what people have been talking about over the past couple of years, where it does become a little boring and there's too much of Lori in the hospital bed. Like I definitely agree. I wish she was more active, but there's
But it
still
makes
enough
sense.
interest in here.
It's a catch 22. I
Yeah,
said this in one of my recent videos about it. It makes sense that she is bedbound. If she
yep,
was up running around, I'd be like, well, that doesn't make sense. So it's like narratively, yeah, they had to do that. But
yeah.
also, damn it, why? Like,
Do you think like I mean, obviously we can't
I
get
do
into
think
hindsight, but do you think
sometimes.
it would have benefited the movie? Yeah, not often. Do you think it would have benefited the movie if Dr. Loomis was like more of a like if he was the main focus of the movie over Laurie?
Yes.
Because she does get a lot of time with her just,
Yes. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I think Donald should have been the main focus of the entire movie. I really do. Now, he's more prevalent in this one than in the first one, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the midsection. But I don't know. Yeah, I'll get into that when I do my breakdown because I'm not trying to steal your thunder.
No, good.
So where are you at then with like a star rating for this movie? And has it changed over the years? Are you somebody that is starting to agree with other people as well? Like as the years have gone on, maybe it's
I think because of my warm attachment to it, it would have been a 5 like when I was like 10. Um Nowadays, I think it's probably a 3.5, but because of all that love and like fuzzy feelings I have for it, I leave it at a 4. Because I do think it's still pretty damn good. I don't think it's a bad movie.
yeah. So I don't know my first memory of seeing this movie. I really don't. I know it had to have been on TV because I had seen it before I bought it. So, but I remember like I always really liked Halloween 2 at a young age, and I always thought that 1 and 2 worked in tandem so well. Like, it genuinely did feel like you could watch them back to back, and it would feel like the same night. Like, I was as a young kid, obviously, you don't really understand, like, nuance and tone, and so, like, as I've gotten older, I'm like, "Oh, in some ways, this is not a perfect watch," because, like, it definitely feels and looks like a different Michael. Like, so but overall, like I still think they work pretty well together. Aside from the awful wig on Jamie. I mean, just truly one of the worst wigs in cinema history. But all things considered, like this the first one in H2O. Like when I was a teenager, I was like, yeah, that's the trilogy. Like that's the peak of Halloween. And Halloween 2 is still a movie that obviously, whenever I do a ranking or I break down one of these movies, like I have so many times over the last couple months, you'll get comments from people that they they almost interpret what you're saying as like you trashing the movie, and I'm not. Um, Understand that this is my favorite franchise, so it's literally like picking between children, aside from one movie, and we will get there. So I still have a lot of love for Halloween 2. If I could give this a star rating, I'm going to give it a 4. And some people might be like, what? It's in the back half of your ranking. Yeah, it's how much I love the franchise. Like, I love Halloween 2. There's some genuinely great stuff in this. I love the opening with, the L Rods and him going over to Alice's house. And I know that was added for extra gore by John Carpenter. I don't care. I think it elevates the movie. I think that the Mr. Garrett scene, also shot by John Carpenter, elevates the movie. I think the scene where the boombox kid runs into Michael so Michael can hear where Laurie was taken to, shot by John Carpenter as well, elevates the movie. Almost makes you wonder if Rick Rosenthal had any idea of what he was doing at all. So like Halloween 2 is a great movie. And for a lot of people, it is like the sequel, like Halloween 2018, Halloween H2O, those movies will never touch Halloween 2 to them. And I understand that. But yeah, the midsection, man, I don't even know how I catch flack for this, because I really don't even think it's controversial to say that like the midsection of the movie at times definitely drags. The movie doesn't know in some portions in the middle there what its focus is. It's like it wants to focus on Laurie, but it's like, oh yeah, she's just kind of laying there like a fucking potato in a hospital bed and falling asleep again. Like, okay, well, let's jump to this nurse. And it's just, opening is really strong. Ending is really strong. Love the third act. There's stuff peppered throughout the middle portions of the movie that are interesting. There's also stuff peppered throughout the middle portions of the movie that are really boring. So I give this a 4, and I think that it is damn good. And so far, Jaden and I are in complete agreement with our scores on these movies. And I have a feeling that's going to change relatively soon, but we'll see. And now, Jaden, I want to hop in the car with you, and I want to go to Santa Mira, California, actually a little town called Lolita, which I have not had and it's actually in Northern California, but I have not had the pleasure of going there yet, but I will before I die, which could be tomorrow, so I don't know. So here's the thing, man. For me, before I saw Halloween 3, the first time I remember seeing Halloween 3 was when I bought it on DVD at like 11 or 12 years old. And before I saw it, obviously we had the internet. So I had read about it and knew it didn't have Michael Myers. And my mom had warned me too. You're not going to like that one. It doesn't have Michael Myers, blah, blah, blah. So I went into this knowing, okay, I know what this is about. I know it doesn't have Michael Myers. Loved it. I mean, loved it. I'll never forget. I even remember like the shitty little gray box TV I had in my room with my DVD player hooked up to it. And the movie was, and I used to sit on the floor right in front of it. Even though my bed was right there. So I could have sat on my bed or laid on my bed and watched movies, but I always sat on the floor. And I remember when it was over, I went downstairs and my mom was like cooking dinner. And I was like, she said something like stupid, wasn't it? And I was like, no, I actually really liked it. Like, I really dug that movie. I understand why Halloween 3, when it came out, was as controversial as it was and was as widely panned as it was, because although they did have advertisements that clearly showed that Michael Myers probably wasn't in this movie, a lot of people were still surprised. So I understand that. I also don't think, though, that the criticisms are entirely fair about anything else with the movie, because I feel like it fits perfectly in sci-fi 80s horror. There's a lot of 80s horror movies that are very much tonally like Halloween 3. So it's gotten reappraised over the years and obviously is a fan favorite now. Day one over here though. And, I actually just watched this last night, on its anniversary, 43rd anniversary of the movie. I was like, I'm watching Halloween 3 tonight. And, I've noticed that even though it's more of a fan favorite now, whenever I post about it, Instagram or YouTube, like a video, it always does a little bit less than Michael Myers Halloween content. It always does. It doesn't do poor, but it doesn't have Michael. So it does a little bit worse. But I love this movie. This is a perfect 5 out of 5 for me. It is. And honestly, watching that 4K last night, dude, holy shit, man. I was seeing spots on Tom Atkins's face I don't know if I'd ever really noticed before. I'm not even kidding you. I was sitting there and I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this guy's still alive. I mean, like, shout out Tom Atkins, but 43 years ago, he's looking kind of rough. So yeah, love Halloween 3. But your turn.
So my relationship with this movie has been topsy-turvy, and I saw it and had the same opinion that I'm sure many people did back when it first came out. I caught it on demand one day randomly, and I said, like, oh, Halloween 3, like, I've never seen this one. I've seen 2, I've seen 4, I've seen 5. There would be a third, I've never seen it. And I put it on, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, where is Michael Myers? This is not a Halloween movie. And I genuinely thought I was being ripped off. I thought it was like one of those mockbuster movies, like Alien versus Hunter. Like, I thought that's what I was watching. I was like, is this some shitty like movie that pretended to be a Halloween movie to get famous? Like, what is this? And then I found out years later that it was actually part of the series, and I would always shit on it. I'm like, I hate this fucking movie. Terrible. There's no Michael, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God. You were one of those plebs.
I was one of them, yeah. And a couple of years ago, I watched it again, and I thought it was fine. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was like, this is okay.
But can you agree with me, though, that it feels very much like an 80s sci-fi horror movie? Like, it doesn't stick out
it
like
absolutely
a sore
does.
thumb.
No. But I actually also watched it last night, and I didn't tell Nick this, so this was not like a planned thing. I watched my Scream
We
Factory
watched it together.
4K.
He spent the night.
Yeah. No, but I love it, man. This time it clicked. I don't know. It took a long time. It took like fucking 15, 20 years for it to finally click with me, but I dug the shit out of it. I had a lot of fun. I've always liked the masks and like the idea behind them. Like, I always thought that was interesting. Ever since I was like sentient, right? Like, when I was a kid, I didn't understand any of this shit, but ever since I've really
Fantastic score.
Oh yeah. Yeah, awesome theme song. I think now it probably lies at a 4. God, that fucking song, dude.
I mean, what is there not to love, Jaden? Like, what is there not to love?
No, I know.
You have Dan O'Herlihy wanting to just kill all the children just for shits and gigs, like doing it for the lulz. Yeah. You've got Tom Atkins, that's like 3 times Stacey Nelkin's age. Stacey Nelkin's got some fucking bazookas on her.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to see snakes and bugs come out of a rotting pumpkin on a kid's head. Like, it's awesome. Yeah.
Also,
and one of my favorite moments in the franchise is Conal Cochran's speech when Tom Atkins is sitting in the chair. I love that speech.
Dude, when that ends and he says Happy Halloween and it goes right into the, like,
that's a needle drop right there. That's perfect. Like shit.
I think one of the best looking... Oh, yeah. Yeah. One of the best looking shots in the entire movie is over the hill with like the black and red sky and like the, you know, the witch hat and them walking by trick-or-treating, like, so gorgeous.
My town is represented.
Kills.
My town is represented in that
really?
montage. Dayton, Ohio. Yeah.
Oh, you're from Dayton? All right, cool.
No, it's where I live right now.
Oh, all right, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I don't know. I love this movie now. It's really fun. I saw some people, like, I saw a review on Letterboxd which is like, oh, this is such a perfect bad movie, and I'm like, it's not a fucking bad movie. This is like a really good movie. It's not like a fun, cheesy, bad 80s horror movie. I just think it's legitimately good.
Yeah, I know. People have claimed for years it's one of those so bad it's good, and I'm like, no, it's actually a good 80s sci-fi horror movie, and I just think that you're dumb. Like, I again, it's your opinion, you're entitled to it. I agree, but opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink. Well, they don't all stink. Anyway, so all right. So then in 1988, Trancas would go, we got to bring Michael Myers back. So they were like, let's bring Michael Myers back. And they did with Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Jaden, I want you to start this one off. And I want you to tell me your first memory with Halloween 4, what you thought of it then, what you think of it now.
All right. So I watched Halloween 4 and 5 back to back on Fear Fest when I was probably about 8 or 9. And I really enjoyed this movie. Um, I thought it was a great way to bring Michael back. I loved Loomis in it. Jamie was instantly the most interesting, like, main character in the franchise to me at that time, and still kind of is now, but we'll get to that later. Um, and yeah, beautiful fall atmosphere. Like it was really perfect to watch around the Halloween season. Like this is always one that I can put on in October and really get those feels. Um, but yeah, I loved it right from the start. I don't know, there's great kills. I like the side characters again, which I feel like Halloween 2 is severely lacking. Seeing Loomis back was really cool. Jamie is instantly like such a lovable, sweet character. Um, I don't love the Michael Jackson mask. I'm not a big fan of that.
It's the
I
finger
don't
in
know.
the booty.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever really been, but I don't think the performance of Michael is bad. Like I think he has cool moments in it. Like the rooftop scene is awesome. Um, I love the scene where he's sitting in the rocking chair, but it's still I don't know. It's one of the most cozy movies in this franchise for me still. It kind of always has been. Um, but I know you've kind of been turning on it a bit, which is a little sad to me. It's a little sad because this movie's good, but
You're so wrong. Everybody that categorizes it that way is just wrong.
All right. Shit on this movie, Nick. Give it 1 star. Come on.
He wants me to shit on it. Look, man, Halloween 4 was one of the earlier ones I watched. I think it was that way for a lot of people around my age because like we grew up with 4 and 5 in constant rotation on AMC's Fear Fest. Like those were the two you always saw. I have such fond memories of watching this thing as a teenager and as a kid. I mean, I really, really do. You put it really well when you said that like this is one of the coziest movies in the franchise. It is. It genuinely feels like a warm blanket or like an old friend. Like there's something about Halloween 4. It just feels right. There's a lot about it that feels right. And Michael looks goofy as hell at times in this movie. He really, really does. Never been a huge fan of the Rachel character, and I know that is a hot take for some people. I don't really see why, because I feel like she's pretty bland. I don't think she has much charisma at all. That's not to say that the performance is bad. It's not. And spoiler alert, I'm actually trying to get Ellie Cornell on the channel. So that would be funny because people would be like, why are you interviewing Ellie Cornell? You hate Rachel. Like, no, I don't. She's just she doesn't have the personality like some of the characters in this franchise do. But Halloween 4 is a comfort watch. It's a go-to watch. And I think that it's just really, it goes down really easy. But in recent years, it's not that I've been like falling out of love with the movie and just shitting on it, no matter how Jaden wants to characterize it. It's more so that like I've been noticing things in other movies as time goes on where I'm like, I think this is actually better, or like I like this better than that. So if anything, I think it's finding more there in subsequent sequels. But Halloween 4 it's great. I mean, it really is. Mask and all that aside, it's really good. But yeah, man, that mask is hard to get by. The look of Michael with the hockey pads sometimes is hard to get by. And I'm still pissed. I mean, it loses a half a star for not showing us Kathleen Kinmont. It loses a half a star for that. I don't give a shit. Like, you guys can call that petty. No. Okay, this was 1988. This was peak slasher era. They were never bigger, and neither was Kathleen. She got them reduced. Okay, it's absurd. But in all seriousness, it's a 3.5 for me. And I will say, I do think that some of the fall atmosphere is vastly overrated with this movie. And some people might hear that and go, wait, what do you mean? That opening? Yeah, the opening. The opening is fantastic. But a lot of the movies at night, I love the establishing shot outside the Carruthers house with the bus driving by right before we get the breakfast scene. That looks and feels like fall. There are moments, but I feel like the opening really colors people's opinions very heavily with the atmosphere in this movie. But it's a 3.5 for me. What's your star rating?
I gotta go 4 for Halloween 4. I don't know, man. Like, I really like one thing I've always liked about this movie is like all the characters, like none of them seem like dicks. You know, like even Brady, like he cheats on Rachel and that sucks, but in the end he saves them both. And I always like that moment where he's like protecting them. I actually like the truckers too. Like I like that whole thing where they're trying to
Yeah, dude,
protect the little girl.
those freaking truckers were like, yo, Bo Meeker or Sheriff Meeker.
Evil dies tonight.
Like,
Yeah,
they were ready.
for
buddy.
sure. I think a big like sticking point though for me is like with the first 3 Michael Myers based Halloween movies, this is probably the least scary. Like it doesn't have a lot of great moments of tension or
I like Jamie's nightmare sequence in the bedroom.
yeah.
I think that's a good sequence. And I think that the ending is pretty good. But yeah.
Yeah, I like that, the ending and the diner scene. I think those are probably the best.
Oh, the diner
for that.
scene has some friggin'. That's another moment in this movie with some great atmosphere. Like
Yeah.
that gas station, the exteriors, the interior. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go 4 for this one.
Evil dies tonight.
So that's like the worst moment in Halloween Kills. That woman right there.
Oh my god, dude.
All right, so then I get to pick it up with my baby. The one that came out in 1989, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. After what was perceived as a runaway success, that was Halloween 4, they were like, let's strike while the iron's hot, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do it big, and it's going to be great, and we're going to bring in this French filmmaker, and he's going to have all these interesting ideas, and people are going to love this, and then people didn't, and it bombed, and yeah, then we went 6 years without another Halloween movie. Look, I said at the open that Halloween 5 was the first Halloween movie I ever saw. And I was hooked. Like it just had me. And as the years have gone on, I was always a defender of this movie. You can go to my videos when I would post like once a year, 10 years ago. If I would talk about Halloween 5, I always defended this movie. I've always loved this movie. But as the years have gone on, I'm actually like more steadfast in my defense for this movie. Like I'm like, no, if someone rates it low personally, whatever, that's fine. But there are some like things that people will argue about this movie that I will go toe to toe with you about. Like, I just disagree. I don't see that. I think you're wrong about this. So much to love about this movie. First, you wasted Rachel in the first 15 minutes. You know, get her out of here. She's a fucking charisma sucker. I'm playing into it, guys. Okay. I don't actually feel that way about Rachel. Danielle is even better in this movie because I don't know if people realize that how difficult it would have been to act half of this movie without speaking a word. And be able to sell you with her body language and her facial expressions. And she does that. I love Tina. I do not give a shit. I have watched hundreds, if not thousands, of 80s horror films, and there are a lot of characters like Tina throughout the 80s. Tina gets singled out for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe because Halloween is probably the most popular slasher franchise. Let's be real. So it gets talked about the most. But Tina, I love her. I think she's no different than Rachel in the sense of like Rachel in 4. I want to hang out with my boyfriend. I don't want to babysit. This is bullshit. Me. And people are like, Tina wanted to go get drunk with her boyfriend. Okay, so did Rachel. Like, you guys didn't shit on Rachel for that. People don't like Tina because she's loud. Whatever, I don't care. She's got personality. She's got spunk. Leave the kid alone. I actually like Billy. Like, I like the relationship between him and Jamie. And I don't know, like, it was nice that Jamie had a friend because she went through some shit in 4 and nobody liked her. So it was kind of cool to see that this time around. Like, oh, she got a friend. Like, good for her. That little girl's been through enough. I love how gothic this movie is. Very, very giallo in a lot of ways. Loomis, perfectly unhinged in this movie. I mean, just like...
I prayed.
and he will burn in hell.
It's one of my favorite Loomis performances. Like it genuinely is. Because at this point, Sam Loomis is like, I'm done. Okay. I'm done with this motherfucker. I if I got to take a girl and use her as bait, then I'm doing it. I'm getting this mofo. And like, I get it. Like, I understand. I love so much about this movie. So much about it. And it has some of the best suspenseful sequences in this entire franchise. The laundry chute sequence, peak. The car chase sequence, peak. The fucking moment with Tina in the car with Michael, peak. Like, there is so much about this movie that's great. Yeah, you want to bitch about the clown cops, whatever. This thing, aesthetically, it looks better than Halloween 4. Fact. Okay, Halloween 4 is very drab and dreary. A lot of blues, grays, whites. This movie is a lot of oranges, yellows, reds. It's vibrant. It pops. I don't know, man. I love Halloween 5. This is not objective. This is my opinion. It's a perfect 5 for me.
So, yeah, Halloween 5, as I said, I watched it back to back with Halloween 4, and I instantly love this movie way more than 4. And I always loved 4, but this one, like, outside of the original, this has always been my favorite. And I think that's something that me and Nick bonded on when we first actually started becoming friends. Because, I mean, let's be honest, friends. Halloween 5 is not popular, dude. Like, it's still one of the ones that people will tell you is a dog shit movie. And it hurts like, when I first found that out online, it hurt my heart because I love this movie and I always have. And I'll say it right now, it's a perfect 5 for me too. So hearing that, and people will still, I mean, I have friends who watch films that think this is a piece of shit and I don't get it. I never got it. But goddamn, I mean, I think the single best chase sequence in the entire franchise is in this movie. Like, inside the house with Jamie in the laundry chute. Everything there, like, that is like perfection, like the tension there.
Hold on, let me be one of the trolls when you say that. Yeah, but Michael fucking cries. Shut up.
Dude, I always liked that. I don't know. Like,
It's a moment of humanity in a monster.
Yeah.
There's something beautiful about that. Go back
Yeah.
to classic monster movies. Frankenstein's monster has a moment of humanity. Like, that is a classic monster movie thing where for a split second you think you broke through to the monster, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, I always love how she tries to touch his face and that's when he goes apeshit. Like, I always found that specific moment, like, really scary. And, like, I don't know, everything about that I always found interesting. Um, and this was the movie where I started to notice, and I feel like this is kind of where Loomis and Michael's relationship, like, throughout these movies, you don't really talk about their relationship or how Michael might perceive Loomis. But in the scene where he's trying to calm down Michael, I feel like that's the most you get of that.
You don't need that. You don't need that.
Yeah. It's like, and it made me think, like, retroactively, and why their dynamic and those two characters are so interesting. If you really go back and watch the movies, Michael never, like, hunts Loomis. He's never out for Loomis. Loomis gets in the way of something he's looking for, and that's when Michael will attack him. But it doesn't seem like he really wants to kill Loomis, like, ever, which I find kind of interesting.
It's almost part of me just feels like it's like with him, it's almost like he's like, come on, old man, like, leave me alone. Like, I'm trying to do something here, bro. Like, you're in my way, you're in my shit. Like, that's the vibe I get. It's like he doesn't want to hurt Loomis. He's almost just like, bro, can you, like, piss off?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I mean, this movie just has fairly likable characters. I also love Tina. I think she's one of the sweetest characters in the Halloween franchise. Like, yeah, she has her moments where she wants to party, but she's also, like, she's still a kid. Like, let's be honest. Like, her and Rachel both, they're still kids. Like, and if
Like
you had
18,
a little,
18.
yeah, if you had a little sibling you had to watch on Halloween night when you're going on a date, nobody would want to do that. Like, you can't really shit on an 18-year-old for thinking that. And in the end, she risks her life and she saves Jamie. I think one major flaw and one dumb flaw, right? The goofy cops, they're always going to be bad. but it's not that serious. It's not a big detractor from the movie. But I think we disagree where Rachel dies early. I think that's a major flaw, personally. I think there could have been way more emotion if Jamie sees Rachel die. And I think
Okay,
there was
so
a
then your flaw isn't that she died early. Your flaw is that she died without Jamie witnessing it, or that it didn't have
sure.
gravitas to it. I agree. It needed more gravitas to it. But I don't
Yeah.
think killing her off in the first act was necessarily a mistake, because if anything, too, I think it adds more to, one, the fact that Michael is out for blood, bro. Like, nobody's safe. And it gives you that in the first act of the movie. It also leaves Jamie feeling more isolated and alone. Like, her protector isn't there anymore. And I think that
Yeah.
Rachel being gone allows Tina to grow into that role. It is the reason why we like the character of Tina, because she's given the opportunity to become the protector. Because if Rachel's around, there's no need for Tina to be that. And
Mm.
that's why I feel like personally it wasn't a mistake, because Ellie and Wendy both give good performances. And same thing with 4. Like, Ellie gives a good performance, but Wendy has so much more presence on screen. She has so much more vitality. Like, she's so much more charismatic and bubbly and magnetic to me. So, like, if this movie was like, okay, we're going to switch the protector, the big sister role to this character, I was on board, because that character was far more interesting to me. I just felt like I liked when she's on screen. She's funny, she's goofy, she doesn't take life seriously. But at the end of the day, yeah, she makes the ultimate sacrifice for this little girl. Um, so I still maintain, I I said it in my How to Fix the Thorn trilogy video, that she shouldn't have that Rachel shouldn't have died the way she did, I believe is what I said.
Mm.
Like, it should have had more gravitas to it. Maybe Jamie sees it. Maybe it's in an act of sacrifice, whatever it is. But I don't think the fact that she died and that Tina took the limelight in 5 is a mistake. I don't.
No, that's fair. I also like I talked about the tension in this movie a little bit earlier, but I think this is probably the second like scariest Halloween movie in a lot of ways. Like I do think the chase sequences are really like you put yourself in those shoes, like it's pretty fucking terrifying. Um like Michael is a demon in this movie. I know he's not as hulking and like brutish as he gets later on, but this is like the scariest Michael after the first for me. Um but yeah, 5 out of 5. And I had one question I wanted to ask you. Did you know about the Man in Black prior to this movie, or did you see it first in this movie and think like, "What the fuck?"
I had no idea. I had no
Okay.
idea. This was the first Halloween movie I watched. So
Oh, right, yeah.
I genuinely didn't know who that was. But honestly, he plays almost no role in this movie aside from the very end when he busts Michael out.
Yeah.
So for me, even from like watching this as a kid, I just thought like, okay, well, that'll get answered in the sequel. Like, it just seemed like sequel bait, like a cliffhanger. It didn't seem like something where I was like, I'm so confused. Like,
Yeah.
no, it seemed like you're gonna get the answers next time. And that's why we left it on that note. So, people have a lot of issues with the Man in Black, but I feel like those issues lie with 6, because 5, he's not prominently featured at all. In 5, he doesn't factor into the plot until the literal end. So yeah, maybe it's confusing. Who is this? Why is he here? But like, he's not affecting the story in any way.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, we're both 5 defenders. We have been for a long time, and will be. And Jaden got upset at me a year or two ago when in my ranking I moved ends above 5, and he was like, "Nah, dude, you got to put 5 back above ends. Like, you can't do that." And I thought on it, and I thought on it, and I was like, nostalgia wins. Nostalgia wins this time. I'm gonna go with 5 over ends. And if you guys aren't familiar with my ranking, you'll get that at the end here. But yeah. So Jaden, 1995, the first Halloween movie to be released in my lifetime. I was alive when Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers premiered in theaters. I was a baby. I was like about 10 months old, but I was alive. And I want you to tell me your first experience with this movie and where you sit with it now.
So I feel like this might be the case for a lot of people. This was the Halloween where I was like, wait, there's a Halloween 6? Because I knew about H2O. I knew about Resurrection. I knew about the remakes. Halloween 6, though, like, I just Halloween and 6 together, that sounded so bizarre to me because I always knew 1 through 5 and I always knew those other ones. So, and nobody talked about this at the time. So I was like, what the fuck is Halloween 6? Like, what is this movie even about? Um, and I saw it way later than the first 4 and actually H2O and Resurrection too. I saw it probably around like 14 and it was on one of those TV marathons. Um and I didn't really know how to feel about it, to be honest with you. It's a huge departure from the other Michael Myers based Halloween movies. Like, it just has such a different vibe to me. Like, all the characters besides Loomis and technically Tommy and Jamie, but they're different actors and they kind of still feel separate to me. But besides Loomis and Donald Pleasance, like, all the characters feel so alien in this franchise. They don't feel that connected to me. Um, so for a long time that kind of threw me off, but as the years went on and I watched it more and more, like, I really love this one now. It of the mask. That might be a hot take because I know this is kind of one of people's favorite masks.
You were
I
chopping
think
up
the
a little.
nose is a bit weird.
You were chopping up a little bit there. I'm gonna let you know you froze for a second.
Oh, I froze. Am I all right now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. Um Anyways, yeah. I was talking about the mask, right? Like, this is not one of my favorite masks in the franchise, and I know for some people it is. I like the eyes. The nose seems kind of weird. I don't like the hair on the mask too much, but um
Are you body
yeah,
shaming Michael?
yeah, I'm gonna.
That's so weird, man. 2025.
I will say though, I don't think I've seen the theatrical cut more than once. I think that was the first version I saw, and every time after I've watched the producer's cut and
What
preferred
the
it way more.
What the
Yeah, dude.
fuck? Okay, Jaden, what's your star rating?
Star rating, I'm gonna go 4 because I think it's got good kills. The producer's cut specifically. I know people hate the runes and all that dumb shit. I get it. It is stupid, but I can kind of get on its wavelength. I like that it has more Loomis. And I like the original score being in it more.
Did you hear that?
I don't know.
You hear this motherfucker? Yeah, I'm talking to the voices in my head. Wow. Okay, so here's why you're wrong. No,
Okay.
I remember the last Halloween. This is crazy. I didn't know Halloween 6 existed. I'm not even shitting you. I didn't know. I had been collecting the movies. And back in this time, The Curse of Michael Myers was not a movie you were going to see out at Walmart to buy on DVD. Like, you just didn't see it. They sold 1, they sold 2, they sold 4, 5, they sold H2O. You couldn't find this one. It was hard. And this was back when I was like 12 and 13 and going to the stores like, we'd go there for grocery shopping or whatever. And I'd go to the movies to see which Halloween movie do they have that I don't own. Then I'd go to my mom and say, oh, can you buy this for me? I didn't know Curse existed. And so I remember, like, I genuinely thought, like, wow, 5 was the end for Jamie, and then we just bring Lori back in H2O. Like, what the hell? Like, whatever happened to Jamie? 13-year-old Nick then saw The Curse of Michael Myers on AMC Fear Fest when I lived in a house on a road called Sycamore Street in Mainville, Ohio. I'll never forget the first time I watched this movie. I was sitting, it was October. I was home alone after school. My older brother had football practice, so that was like the only time that I had to the TV to myself. And I got on, and like I would every day when I got home from school in October, and I'd look like, okay, what kind of Halloween thing do they have on what channel? Like, and so Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. And I was like, what the fuck? So I clicked on it, and it had like just started. And I'm watching, and I'm like, that's not Danielle Harris. I'm like, is this 6? And then I didn't have a smartphone yet. Smartphones weren't really a thing, guys. This was almost 20 years ago. Like, remember, I'm getting older. And so I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I went up to my brother's desktop computer. I'm like, like Yahoo this shit. And I'm like, this is the sixth one? There is a sixth one? Oh my God. And wow, because this was DirecTV, so I could pause it. And dude, I hated it. I hated it. I thought it was dog shit. Like I hated it so bad. I was like, this movie sucks. But from that point forward, I was like, I have to buy it. Like, I have to buy it. So I was calling every Walmart, like in our town. Do you guys have Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers? And I found a Walmart that did. And my mom took me there a couple days later. It was $5 on DVD. I was like, Mom, come on, you can buy me this. It's $5. She's like, fine, whatever. And I didn't like it, but I was like, no, now I own it. And then I went and I brought it home and I watched it. And I don't know, like something clicked. Like the second or third time I watched it, I was like, this kind of rules. Like, I don't know. Like, this is kind of cool, though. And then, obviously, I was a member on the Halloween message board, and everybody would talk about the producer's cut. And I think a year later at Christmas, I asked my mom for the producer's cut bootleg, and she got it for me on eBay. And I remember that Christmas morning, I was up in my room, and I'm like, all right, presents are open. Bye, guys. I'm going to go watch the producer's cut and all the special features that were on it because someone compiled a bunch of special features on it. It was awesome. And I remember from the first time I watched the producer's cut, I was like, yeah, not for me. Here's the thing. The producer's cut narratively is much more cohesive. That is the plot of Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. That's what they wanted it to be. They wanted it to be more about this cult, about this bloodline, this curse. That's what they wanted the plot to be. However, I find that plot to be largely dog shit. So the fact that the theatrical cut excised a lot of that, there's enough of it there. You have the skeleton of it, so you kind of understand what's going on. But they excised a bunch of, I would say, elongated sequences and story choices that like the third act. I hate the third act of the producer's cut. Like I do not think it's good. The producer's cut, there are positives though. Way more of the original score. And piano, no less, not the electric guitar, although I do dig the electric guitar score as well. More Loomis in the producer's cut.
Yep.
But I actually find the producer's cut way more disrespectful to the character of Jamie. Like way more, where it's just explicitly called out. Yeah, that's Michael's baby. And also, we're gonna have you survive this attack in this barn only for you to get shot in the dome ski while you're in a coma. I was just like, I'm like, come on. The theatrical cut to me, I feel like is just brisker. I think it moves better. The pacing is way better. I don't think it plods along at all. I have always said Halloween 6 it's a heavy metal Halloween movie. Like I just feel like that's the best way to describe it. Michael Myers is a friggin' demon. I love Paul Rudd as Tommy Doyle. I just don't see it when people are like, he's so bad. No, he's playing the character the way it's written. He's supposed to be like this total recluse, awkward, like, no, I think he nails it. I like Kara and Marianne Hagen, absolute smoke show. I don't know, man. I just, after a couple watches, it clicked for me. So this one for me, this is a 4.5. This is a 4.5. I mean, I love this movie. And, you know, I will fight anybody that disagrees. No, I won't. But I know that there are two camps. You're a producer's cut or a theatrical cut guy. I feel like I explained myself well enough as to why I prefer the theatrical cut. I do think it has a better pace. I do think it largely gets rid of the minutia of some of this plot that I feel like is just doing too much at times. Doesn't call out the fact that that's Michael's baby. Like there's just differences there that I'm like, this was probably for the best. Yeah. But I don't hate the producer's cut. But it has been years since I've watched the producer's cut. But yeah, that's my rating. What was your rating? 4?
Yeah, I gave it a 4. I think the theatricals too for a rewatch for me.
Have you watched
before we
6
get
this
off
month yet?
I have not.
You should watch the theatrical.
I think I will. Yeah. I do think, and before we get off this movie, this probably has
I already got
story wise.
The movie. Okay.
Yeah. But story wise, I think it has my least favorite moment in the Halloween franchise is Jamie's death. Like, I've never loved it. I've always thought it was dog shit. I always thought she should have been the main character along with Tommy and Loomis in this movie. Like the family we follow is fine, but Jamie would have been so much better, like so much more interesting than any of those characters. Um,
It's kind of mean
so
though. I gotta be honest with you. The theatrical cuts kill. It's mean. I kind of dig it. Like, cause she's kind of a smartass. She's on the
yeah,
equipment and she's like, "You can't have the baby." And he's like,
yeah,
"Oh, I can't have the baby, huh? I'm gonna
yeah,
turn this motherfucker on and gut you." Like, yes, totally disrespectful to the character of Jamie Lloyd, but
yeah,
also really mean spirited. And I think it sets the tone in the opening act. Yeah, this Michael's not fucking around.
yeah. It's a good kill, but it's like you sacrifice the most interesting character, maybe outside of Loomis in this franchise. Because I do, and I'll say it now because we're gonna leave Jamie. I think Jamie is the best character, like in terms of like main hero of the story. Because I don't think Loomis is like he's kind of always that side hero character. I think Jamie is the best final girl in this entire franchise. I think she's better than Lori. I've always found her way more interesting than Lori. And I like, I know, controversial, right? But I also like the performances better than any of Jamie Lee Curtis's in the entire franchise.
Okay. All
From
right. Well, you know what? Guess what? You just teed me up, motherfucker. We're gonna go right into it.
okay,
Then in 1998, this summer terror wasn't taking a vacation. Blood happened to be thicker than water. Halloween H2O would be released, and it would be a big hit. It would be the highest grossing Halloween movie at the time, aside from the original. It would be the highest rated sequel, period, in the franchise. It brought people back on board. Why? Because Jamie Lee Curtis herself, now a well established actress, came back to the role that made her, Laurie motherfucking Strode. Now, let me tell you something. If you want to talk about Halloween and Halloween 2, I can largely agree. I prefer her in Halloween. Absolutely. Laurie doesn't get much to do in 2. But Halloween H2O. Okay. When I was a kid, my mom put it to me like this when I was getting into this series. The only ones worth watching are the first one, the second one, and H2O. That's it. None of them, all the other ones are crap. So going into H2O, I knew, okay, Jamie Lee is back in this movie. It's a sequel to Halloween 2. I remember being a little bummed, though, that like Jamie Lloyd was just forgotten. I was like, oh, well, wasn't that her daughter? I didn't really understand uh nuance at the time. So like, well, they kind of had to forget about all that because how you gonna explain a lot of that? But um loved this thing. Loved H2O. 1, 2, and H2O. That was the trilogy. Argue with your mama. Like that was my jam. Then I got into my adult years and I really started to fall out of love with H2O because I really saw a lot of the like blatant Scream ripoffness, the 90210 era actors and acting. Like there was a lot that I was like, I've never been a huge fan of the mask. I do not like the fact that you can see his eyes so clearly in this movie. And like it's just a problem to me. But then as I got into like my late 20s and where I'm at now, I started to come back around to it. And I feel like it's settled more. It's on the back half of my ranking, but it's above a couple other movies. And I do think that the biggest reason, aside from all of my minor gripes with it, the mask, the score, the lack of body count, Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic in this movie. Like, this is the first performance for her where you actually get some like pathos to the character of Laurie Strode. We get to see how her mind operates. Like we get to see more range than we've ever seen from Jamie Lee in this series. The fact that and part of me also, I feel like, hopefully my mom's not listening to this. I saw a lot of my mom in this Laurie Strode, believe it or not. My mom struggled with a lot of stuff when I was growing up. Partially my dad and all the fallout from that, and being a single mom and having to work all these jobs just to keep food on the table and dealing with all these kids and insanity in life. And she's been through a lot of shit. And I saw some of my mom in her. Like she was damaged. She was, there was a lot there. But she put on a tough face and she got through every day the best way she could. She was a fighter. And I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm always going to be partial to this performance. it just kind of hit close to home. But I think Jamie Lee is genuinely great in this movie. And I think with everything about this movie that is subpar, it gets the most important thing right. And that's Laurie Strode. Like in this movie and the reunion aspect. That's what you needed to hit on in this movie. You needed to give me Laurie 20 years later and let me see how those events have impacted her. And you needed to deliver when they come face to face. And this movie does that. So that's why in recent years I've come back around to it and be like, flaws aside, it hits on those 2 points. It's good in my book. So H2O, though, is right there on par with Halloween 2 and Halloween 4 for me. So I'd say it's a 3.5. I'd say 2 is a little bit better. So I'll go right with 2.5 or 3.5 here with Halloween, as I did with Halloween 4. But Jaden, take it away with Halloween Water.
Yeah. This is the first Halloween movie. This is the first Halloween movie I don't like that we've talked about. It's I don't know, man. Like the fact that Scream is homaging like Halloween in a lot of ways, and this blatantly rips it off, and it even has Scream in the background, even though they watch Halloween and Scream, so it doesn't make any fucking sense. I hate that. I think all the characters suck outside of Laurie. Like LL Cool J is funny, but he's not a great character. I think all the teens are terrible. I think her son is not at all interesting compared to Jamie. And I think what they could have done to make it way more interesting is
in fairness, Jamie Lloyd was literally the main character in her movies, whereas Josh Hartnett is not the main character here.
Sure, but he's a nothing character. He's like a giant nothing burger. There really is no substance to his character. He's just a teen boy.
You like those?
Jesus Christ. But I don't know, man. Like the most interesting scene that I think could have been in this movie was I think they ut it out of a script where she
By that
finds
I
out
mean
about
18.
Jamie.
By that I mean 18, guys. Fucking chill.
Where she finds out about Jamie and pukes and realizes what's happened. Like I think you've talked about it. That was something that was cut out early on. I think that would have been really good to add to this movie. I just don't. It has a shit atmosphere because it's in California. Doesn't really feel Halloweeny outside of the opening, which I actually do really like.
Fucking. Yeah, go ahead.
I think this is by far. I don't think it's even a question. This is the worst Michael Myers ever.
No, it's not.
I mean
No, it's not.
I know what you're gonna say.
It's not.
It is not.
It's not. It is. This is not the worst Michael Myers.
It is.
No,
I promise.
No,
you.
No. I will literally beat your ass. Like no.
This is the worst.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not, dude.
This Michael Myers. Nope. This Michael Myers gets one moment. Even if you hate this Myers, there are 2 genuinely great moments from this Myers in this movie, and you get none in the next movie. And the 2 genuinely great moments from Myers in this movie are the drop down from the pipe in the hallway behind Laurie, iconic, fantastic, and when he is at the door and they are face to face, and when he tilts his head and just looks right into Laurie's eyes. That's 2 great moments in this movie with Myers. You get 0 in the next movie. It is not the worst Myers.
Dude.
It's a bad Myers. It's not the worst. It's not.
Okay. Those are well written moments for Michael Myers, but I think the performance is god awful. Whoever they got to do this, he is not the size. Sure, Chris Duran, not the size of what Michael Myers should be. The mask is dog shit. You shouldn't see his eyes. He has the weird ass hair on the wig. It's the worst in the franchise. He like speed walks and runs through almost running through the entire movie, and it doesn't move at all like Michael Myers. It's just so awful. All the worst masks in the franchise too. Like, fuck everything about.
No.
Fuck everything about this Michael Myers, his mask, the actor playing him. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but the performance is fucking terrible.
You
Is
guys
it
want to
not?
know something funny? He said he's not the right size of Michael Myers. Nick Castle's 5'10" and Chris Durand is 6'2". You fucking dipshit.
Michael just seems more imposing in the original than this dude, like by far. But anyways,
I'm not
there
disagreeing
are
with
some.
that. I'm just saying, like, physically in stature, he's
Sure,
taller.
whatever. He looks small in this movie, dude. He
He
does
does.
not look like
He does.
how Michael Myers typically looks, like how I think of Michael Myers.
I think that's how you shoot it, though. I genuinely think that has
Sure.
to do with the shot composition. Carpenter and Dean Cundy are masters at that. Steve Miner,
Yeah.
maybe not so much.
No. But there are good moments. Like I think the opening is pretty great. Like with the nurse Marilyn Chambers, right? I get that right?
Marion Chambers
Marion.
or Marion
Sorry.
Whittington, whichever one you want to go with. But yeah,
Marion Chambers. I think all that's pretty great. I think it's got a good atmosphere. Michael actually there are scenes of the Halloween 6 mask, I believe, in this part where it actually doesn't
Yep.
look like horse shit. The kill, like the ice skate kill through the face, is pretty fucking cool.
Just wish we
The
could have
gas
seen it. But
station
yeah,
or the rest stop scene is good. There's just not that much in this movie though that I like, honestly.
okay, that's fair. I hear you, but just meet me halfway here and tell me that you agree that one of the peak moments in this franchise is when she breaks the glass, gets that axe, is walking up the road with her big ass shadow just like overcast, and she just starts screaming Michael, and that orchestral theme just gets loud as fuck. That is so awesome.
That is a good moment
Because
for sure.
that moment is the first time in 3 movies that Laurie Strode said, "I'm taking the fight to you." And that was awesome.
Yeah. And I will say, as you were saying, this is the best Laurie. Like, I think out of every movie in the series, this is the best Laurie. But
So what's your star rating? 2 stars.
I think it's 3. I think it is a 2.5, but it gets to a 3 because Laurie is great and because there's enough DNA from Halloween that I love to put it a little bit above for me. But I just think this is a very average, whatever 90s slasher. Yeah.
The funny thing is, I don't even really necessarily disagree. Like, I don't even really find myself being like, no, Jaden, you're missing the brilliance of this moment in H2O. Like, no, I can't necessarily tell you that you're wrong. For me, I think though, it's just the high watermark moments of this movie are just really high for me. I mean, they really are. There's some of the moments in this movie that are, there's probably 20% of this movie that I would say is like really good to great, but it's so good that I'm like, you know what? It's pretty good. Okay. So Jaden, take it away with the next one.
So we go to 2002 with Halloween Resurrection.
I pray.
All right. I will never hear another answer for the worst movie in the Halloween franchise than Resurrection. If you say any other one, you're completely fucking wrong. You need to reevaluate this franchise, your movie going experiences. You got to trade in your card as a cinephile. You got to reflect on your life because this movie is fucking atrocious. It is one of the worst sequels to any horror movie ever created. It's bad. I've always thought
I don't
it's
agree.
bad.
I don't agree to that, but continue.
What? All right, well, whatever. We'll get to it. I remember watching this for the first time and being insanely pissed off because this is the most disrespectful the franchise has ever to Michael Myers. They treat him like a fucking joke towards the end of this movie. I mean, the whole Busta Rhymes thing is terrible. And to be fair, I'm not going to say anything positive about anything with Busta Rhymes and Michael. Michael does beat his ass more than I remembered as a kid. like when I was a kid, I thought Busta just beat the shit out of Michael, and I was always angry about it. When you go back and watch, Michael is about to kill him, and he gets saved by the girl or whatever. Still terrible. Um, I like Busta Rhymes as a rapper, as an actor. He never should have went into acting. I think this is the second worst Michael. I think H2O is still the worst. I think this one is the most boring and uninteresting, but I think the mask is better than H2O. And I think the movement of Michael Myers is
Yeah, bro, you got
whatever.
that. This mask is like the tonight will be the night. That is what this fucking mask is, dude.
It is, but he doesn't have the weird spiked up fucking like
emo
NSYNC hair.
Myers. He's out there with a boombox fucking playing Hawthorne Heights for fucking Lori outside the asylum.
Yeah, it's a really boring movie. It looks shitty. It looks direct to DVD or made for TV or whatever the fuck you want to say. All the characters suck. There's nothing interesting. The plot is just a bad 2000 slasher that they threw Michael Myers into. I think there is a singular good or decent moment in this entire movie, and it's the stinger at the end where he opens his eyes after he's in the body bag. But even then, that's like such a generic horror, like that in a million horror movies. But it's the best part about this movie because it's a fucking turd. Oh, you know what? Actually, I will say one more. The character in the insane asylum, because I didn't talk about the beginning. Harold, he's awesome. He's very cool. Like him saying all the stuff about Michael and then the theme playing, that's all pretty good. I'm gonna let you take it away though, because I could rant about this fucking movie forever. But go ahead.
So could I, and I've done it ad nauseum on my channel, so I'll actually keep this brief.
Okay.
Jaden says that this is one of the worst sequels to a horror movie like ever. I disagree with that. This isn't as bad as like Hellraiser Revelations, Leprechaun in the Hood. Like there are far worse. Freddy's Dead is way worse than this movie. It's just my opinion, but it's just my opinion, but I do not think that this is like gutter trash largely. It's not good. And in the Halloween franchise, it's dog water. But I'm also partial to all these movies. So like it's the weakest in my favorite franchise. Now, having said that, spoiler alert, I'm giving this a half a star. I think it's bad. Okay. Is it Jeepers Creepers Reborn bad? No.
Okay.
Why? Because look, the rendition of the theme here by Danny Lux, I actually like the theme. I think the theme's actually pretty good in this movie. The recreation of the Myers house, aces. I mean, just beautiful recreation of that house. Busta Rhymes, horrible character, but he's not bad. Like it's a dog shit character. It's a dog shit script, but like, I mean, he's chewing up the scenery, bro. Like, what do you remember from this movie above all else? Busta Rhymes looking like some chicken fried motherfucker. Like I'm just saying, like, he's entertaining when he's on screen, even if his character is a complete spit in the face to Halloween and Michael Myers because of how he treats him. But everything else, and I like Harold. Everything else about this movie is bad. And I made a video last week about the biggest mistake this movie made because so many people say that the beginning is like the best part of this movie. No, it's not. It's the worst. What it does to the character of Laurie Strode is awful. It's not even just her dying. Undoing her big triumph in H2O, putting her in a sanitarium where she's just waiting for death, and then making her so fucking stupid that she would somehow think it wasn't Michael, even though literally 3 seconds ago you knew it was. Give me a fucking break. It's a bad movie. And it's the worst Halloween movie to me. But I understand some people have fun with this movie, but I find it offensive. I genuinely, in this franchise, I find it offensive. And I don't think you're ever going to get any lower in this franchise than Busta Rhymes Kung Fu fighting Michael Myers, Laurie Strode stupidly thinking that's not Michael and then kissing him on the lips as she dies, or the best moment in this entire movie, this is for Rudy, for all of them. Oh my God, bro. Get this shit out of my life. Half a star. What's your star rating?
Michael Myers is a killer shock. I'm gonna give this 1.5 because I think there are little tiny nuggets of good.
Yeah, after you say it's
For
one of the
fun.
worst sequels ever.
But it is. It is. I don't think. Okay, it's not
Worst
Leprechaun
sequels
4.
ever. Worst sequels ever are like 0
Yeah.
stars. Like I would give this a
Okay.
negative star if it was allowed. That's worst sequels ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's one of the worst. I don't know. But it's funny, when I was a kid and I saw this movie, the one moment that I liked was when she like falls off of his knife and she's like, "See you in hell." I used to think that was so badass, and now I'm like, that's so cringy, dude. Like
Okay,
that.
okay. I think
I don't know.
I think the line of "I'll see you in hell" is actually a good line. I do
That's a
think
good
that's a good
line.
line. But
It's just
that
very
the
melodramatic.
moment though, awful. He
Yeah.
kisses him and then falls
Yeah.
backwards into CGI. Like
Yeah.
it's I mean, it's fucking bad.
Yeah. That
Look,
line is good though, yeah.
we've said all we need to say about Resurrection. Get the turd off the screen. And now I'll take you to
Alright.
2007 when Nick was I was fully in the throes of collecting the Halloween franchise at this point. I had seen the trailer for Rob Zombie's Halloween at this point probably 800 times. I could not friggin' wait. I was only 13, so I couldn't get my ticket. So me and my buddies, Tommy and Chris, their dad loved the original Halloween. We were like, dude, let's go see it. He's like, yeah, dude, I love Rob Zombie's music and I love Halloween. We'll go see it. So we went opening night with him. And first Halloween theater experience. Genuinely over the moon. I mean, I loved every second of this movie when I saw this thing in theaters. I loved every second of it. And since the moment I saw it, every single time I've watched it since, it's had this precipitous drop. Slowly, every single time I watch it. And now I'm firmly where I'm at with it. In my opinion, it's number 11 on my franchise ranking, I think. I think there's only 2 movies behind it. And again, like I said, guys, that means I still like it. Like this is my favorite franchise, but I got to be honest here. I commend and respect Rob Zombie for wanting to show us something different in the first half of this movie. I actually do. I think that I've always been a big proponent of, and I think you would even agree with this. If you're going to do a remake, do not do a Gus Van Sant 1998 Psycho. Do not do that. Give me something new. Add something to it. So I respect the hell out of the fact that he said, we're going to give a backstory here. And it's going to be a different kind of backstory. That doesn't mean it works. And I don't think it does. Dag Fairch is fantastic as young Michael. That kid is delightfully creepy. Like, yeah, he's really good in the role. But I just don't care for it. Now, once they get to Smith's Grove, I kind of like him and Loomis and watching his kind of slow descent in Smith's Grove. I actually do quite like that. And then you get to the second half of this movie, which I have a lot of fun with. It is a fast-paced remake of John Carpenter's Halloween, with things switched up here and there, things happening in different places than they did before, different characters, but like still basically just like a remake of John's movie. And I have a lot of fun with that. But the first act of this movie has really, really brought it down for me over the years, to the point where, and the ending, the climax, it drags on way too long. It's like 15 minutes, I swear, dude. It's like, she's in the walls, she's in the ceiling, she's still in the ceiling. Like, come on, just get on with it, dude. I mean, but I'd say there's about 50% of this movie that I would say is actually pretty good. Like, I really would say, like, yeah, this is pretty fun. Tyler Mane as Michael, great. Like, great. The Mask, great. The music by Tyler Bates, great. The kills, great. So for me, Rob Zombie's Halloween these days is probably a 3. Probably a 3 out of 5. And now, Jaden, floor is yours to be a hater.
All right. I remember I saw this movie probably not long after it had come out, like on digital, whatever, or started playing on TV. I can't remember where exactly I saw it, but I would have been around 8 when I saw it for the first time, and I just never dug it. It just felt like a bad version of Halloween to me, like the original Halloween. But as the years have gone on, there are definitely more elements that I enjoy from it. I do think everything within Smith's Grove is actually pretty fucking good. Like I love Kid Michael, and I didn't like it for the longest time because I was like, well, once you reveal the monster, does that make him less scary or less interesting? I actually like that they did it now because we had already seen that Michael that was more mysterious, where we didn't get to see him as a kid and all that. So seeing him and Loomis have an actual bond kind of makes what happens eventually even more heartbreaking. But dude, some of the worst writing in the Halloween franchise is in this movie in that first half. I mean, the trailer park trash Rob Zombie shit is fucking god awful. It is next to Resurrection, it's some of the worst shit ever in this franchise. Like the beginning scene with them at the breakfast table and the white trash stepdad, like it's so bad. Awful writing, awful dialogue, miserable to watch. Like there's nothing happy that happened, or not happy even, but like enjoyable as a movie. Like I can't I hate watching any of that. Like if I could skip that every single time I watched it, I would. Um and like the Spy Kids kid is fucking terrible too. Like his dialogue is dog shit. Um but the actual remake part of Halloween is fun. I think most of the characters are a bit downgrades from the original.
Aside from Annie, Danielle Harris is way better.
I actually don't agree, at least in this one.
Well, I think most people would, so you're going to be the one on an island here.
That's fair, but I love Annie in the original movie. But yeah, I think the actual remake part is okay. The beginning part is fucking terrible. The Smiths Grove stuff is good. So I give it a 3.5 nowadays. I think it is pretty good overall, but there's a lot of stuff that brings it down that can't make it great. Um, by the way, we haven't been talking about posters. One of the best posters in the franchise, though, is this movie.
I got a Taco Deluxe Supreme talking back at me, so I'm gonna be a while. Yeah,
Oh, boy.
great soundtrack too. God of Thunder. You've got
Yeah.
Tom Sawyer. Like, yeah, great soundtrack. Rob, that's Rob though. Rob.
Yeah.
Wow, Jaden. Before we recorded this episode, was like, can't wait to shit on Rob Zombie's movies, and he gave this a 0.5 star more than me. So that's interesting. Now, Jaden. Piss me off. Tell me about your journey with Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
So this movie's fucking god. No, I'm kidding. When I texted Nick that, I was fucking with him because I know he loves these movies. I don't hate them.
Do you know what shut the fuck up mean?
I definitely used to. Like, listen, the 2000s after these movies, in 2010s after these movies came out, were super volatile. I mean, when anybody asked you what the worst Halloween movie was or were, they talked about Rob's movies. First and foremost, over everything. And for a long time, I was on that side because I had seen the white trash bullshit in the Rob's first movie and I didn't like it. But I was kind of talking out of my ass because I had never seen Halloween 2. I had heard briefly of the moment where Michael speaks, which is in a very specific cut, and I thought that was the worst thing I'd ever heard in my life. I think Michael speaking is an abomination, and I still do, to be honest. But I don't watch that cut because that cut is terrible. I mean, Rob Zombie's theatrical cuts, or not theatrical, sorry, the director's cuts are bad. The theatrical cuts are way easier to stomach and they're the best versions of the movies. But I didn't see Halloween 2 until actually last year. It was the last Halloween movie I'd ever seen. I had no interest. And as I started to get to know Nick and he started praising on this movie, and I'm like, okay, is this actually good? Like, I've never seen it. I don't know much about it. I remember the teasers when it was coming out. I remember him looking down at the little kid with the hood on. I thought that looked cool, but Michael speaking, I'm like, is this going to be some weird bullshit movie? But through Nick's words, I finally saw it and I love it. To be honest, I do think this is Rob Zombie's.
Just calm down. Calm down.
I do think this is Rob Zombie's best movie. I think this is honestly one of the best movies in the series.
You shut the fuck up. You're fucking with me.
I swear on my life, I'm not fucking with you. It's in my top half now for sure. I think Laurie is fantastic. I think this is probably the best Laurie performance in the franchise, and it's not even Jamie Lee. I think Annie is far more interesting in this movie than she is in Rob's first movie.
I feel like LeBron James, that LeBron James meme right now, where it's like smiling, I can't believe this, my life. Like,
I love that Sheriff Brackett is like an actual character now. Yeah, I mean, the Michael performance is really interesting. I won't say it's one of my favorites, but it's not bad either. I mean, he's really fucking evil in this movie. And at times, the homeless look, I'm not a fan of it, but it's okay. It's not bad. The mask itself from the first remake is good. So it's enough for me to, it's not H2O bad. But yeah, I don't know. This movie is just, I was vibing with it like crazy when I fucking watched it last year, and it's gonna be a rewatch for me pretty much every year from now on. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go 4.5 for Mr. Robert Zimbabwe's Halloween 2.
y'all, I think I just creamed. I'm gonna be totally real. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Is that your mom?
So
Is that your mom? Hey, Jaden's mom. Are you hot? Is your mom hot? Anyway.
like, what am I supposed to say? Yeah.
Anyway, well, your dad's not around, right?
No,
Okay, cool.
we got that coming.
Do you want a stepdad? So anyway, wow, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for that. I was prepared to rip your butt to shreds.
Nah, buddy.
All right, so look, here's the deal. I mean, y'all know I'm like YouTube's resident Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 defender.
Yeah.
More than I defend ends, more than I defend 5. Like this, there are days where I genuinely think about putting this at number 1. It's a fantastic movie. But the only way for you to really appreciate this movie for what it is to go into it understanding it is not at all a Halloween movie that you have seen up to this point. It's not operating under the same framework. You need to separate everything you know about this franchise going into this to truly be able to appreciate it for what it is. Yes, the character names are the same, but this is an entirely different world. And the Michael, yes, it's Michael Myers, but it's an entirely different Michael. He comes from an entirely different background. This is Rob Zombie's Michael Myers. This is Rob Zombie's Halloween. And this is the movie that actually feels like his vision. And I will give Malik Akkad his flowers until the day I die for having the balls to say to Rob, do what you want. Make this movie yours. He famously, Rob didn't want to come back because Rob doesn't really do sequels. And now it's crazy to say now because like, well, he's got the Firefly trilogy. Well, yeah, but that was Lionsgate coming to him. Please make a sequel. Please make a sequel. So he said, this is your thing, and I want you to do whatever you want to do with it. And to his credit, every day on set, Bob Weinstein was arguing with Rob and calling every day. And guess what? Rob just basically told him to fuck off because he had Malik Akkad's blessing, and this is Malik's franchise and Malik's property. So, and I'm glad that Malik did that because Rob was able to make a movie that I find to be kind of mesmerizing. Like, I'm going to be totally real with you. It's like a fever dream. Like the whole movie is. And I think the biggest reason for that is a lot of these Hollywood movies, the good guys always win. Good prevails in the end. People come out on the other side of these things stronger. You go down your list of cliches. And this movie says, no, that's all bullshit. Sometimes you can be so damaged to the point where you can't be repaired. Sometimes the bad guys win. Sometimes PTSD can do things to you as a person where you don't even recognize who you are anymore. And guys, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. That's the truth. Like, that happens to a lot of people. Traumatic events alter their lives forever. They're never the person they were again. And this movie decided to take a spotlight and shine it on that. The dark reality, and the first time I saw this thing in theaters, and I saw it with 3 other friends. I was the only one on the car ride home that liked it. The only one. And I have loved this movie since the day it came out. This thing is Scout's phenomenal. This is the best Laurie Strode performance in the franchise. Just is. The range that she shows in this movie, my God, dude. I eat this entire movie up. It shits all over Rob's Halloween. It takes a huge dump on it. Phenomenal. 5 out of 5. I made a video years ago called Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is a masterpiece. And that video has like 30,000 views. And that comment section was a minefield at times. But there was also a lot of comments I got on that thing from people that are like, you've actually changed my mind on this movie. And those are some of my favorite comments that I've ever gotten on YouTube, is when people say that. So I will fight the good fight for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 forever. I just will.
Yeah.
It's that good. And you got to remove your biases and your interpretations and what you believe is your understanding of what the franchise is and was before. You've got to remove all that. And if you can do that, I think you'll get it. Perfect 5 out of 5. I have nothing to add, except go watch H2. So then 9 years, 9 years where we laid in wait. Michael Myers was gone. Nothing was happening. Scripts were getting written, projects were getting greenlit, and they were getting canceled. And guess who was eating up that shit every day? Me. I had that, it's like that meme where it's like the smiling face, like the crying smiling face with like the clown mask on.
Yeah.
That was me during that whole time. My clown ass really believed that any one of these projects was going to get off the ground. Well, eventually one did. Halloween 2018. They're bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back. Blumhouse is behind it. John Carpenter's going to do the score. We're getting the gang back together. So when it was announced, I was super freaking excited, man. I was just so happy to know that Michael was coming back. It didn't even matter. Just knowing that, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And then like Jamie Lee and John Carpenter, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then I saw it. And then I saw it again. And then I saw it again 3 times in theaters. And man, I was underwhelmed. I was really, really disappointed in this movie. The mask is great. The kills are great. The music's great. I don't give a shit about any of the characters, quite frankly. The twist with Dr. Sartain is absolutely idiotic. This portrayal of Laurie Strode, it's not bad by Jamie Lee by any means, but it just doesn't feel real. To me, it doesn't feel like the Laurie I know at all. It's my second least favorite Halloween movie. I've also noticed a big divide here. A lot of the people that like Halloween 2018 and hold it in such high regard, Gen Z. Why? Because this is their Halloween. These are the Halloween movies that came out during their formative years. This is their Michael Myers. I get it. Totally do. But this movie for me, I'll give it a 2.5. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. But unlike H2O, I don't think it gets Laurie Strode right. And that's a That's a huge, huge mistake for me. But that's my piece on 2018.
Yeah. So I was well into this franchise as a kid, so as a teenager, when I started hearing these rumors of Halloween Returns, like I saw a fake poster in like 2015 and I heard about Halloween Returns maybe happening, I like shit my pants. I didn't realize it wasn't actually happening. Um, but when this movie finally got announced, it is the most excited I've ever been for a movie coming out in theaters in my entire life. Like, because what you said, right? This was my Halloween. This was the first one I was ever going to get to see in theaters. I didn't see Rob's movies in theaters. I didn't see Resurrection. Those were the only ones that came out during my lifetime.
What?
But what you said about Gen Z mostly liking it because it is their Halloween, I almost feel like I'm in a weird age group because I was old enough to realize how mediocre this movie actually is. Because I saw it when I was just about to turn 18. That's when this movie came out. So I feel like if I had seen it at maybe like 12 or 13, maybe I'd like it more and have more fuzzy feelings for it. But it's just a very okay Halloween movie. Like, it plays a lot of things safe, and what it doesn't play safe is really fucking dumb. The Dr. Sartain thing is terrible. I've always thought it was terrible. Um, Laurie, yeah, just kind of like, I can't say like cartoonish, but definitely over the top with her performance in that the writing of it. There's these little quips and lines in there that are definitely written by Danny McBride that sound super goofy and dumb, and we get way more of that in the next one. But
Disagree.
okay, fair enough. But this movie is like hype moments and then very mediocre shit in between. Like,
This movie is somebody put it best in a video I did the other day. It's just like a whole plate of member berries. Like that's
yeah,
the entire movie is like, do you remember this? Do you remember this? Wow, remember this? And it's like,
yeah,
yeah, dude. Yeah, I fucking remember. What are you gonna do that's original? Oh yeah, but don't you remember this? Yeah, yeah, I do. Stop. Stop
yeah.
trying to crib off of my nostalgia and do something original. They didn't. Not with this one.
I will say, where you said you don't care about any of the characters, I totally get it. There are two specifically that I do, and that's Vicky and Julian. I
Julian.
love them.
I know. I like Julian. I like Julian. And I like
I like
Virginia
him and
Gardner
Vicky.
as an actress. I like her as an actress, but dude, I think she's bad in her kill scene. I think she's bad. Like, and there's
Okay,
the
that's fair.
there is the comically stupid moment. They even have a shot of her feet slipping.
Yeah.
Like, so fucking dumb. And like, she, just like Bianca Kylick in Resurrection, she can't scream. She cannot scream. Go watch this. Go watch that scene. I'm like, she's like, ah, ah, ah.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking what? Like, what is happening? It's so awkward. I don't know.
I do like their relationship though, and I like that she tells him to run, and she like wants to like save this kid.
He's like, make Dave go.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Um, but yeah, mostly the characters suck in this movie. They get better in the sequels, but this one they're very boring. It's a little disappointing that nothing ever came of like the sheriff dude. The guy with the cowboy hat. Like, I was
Sheriff
like,
Barker.
yeah, he doesn't really do shit in these movies.
No. He
Michael
literally
kills
has
a kid.
one scene in Halloween Ends. By the time they
Yeah.
got the ends, they were like, nobody gives a shit. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
No, the sequence where he killed the kid, I remember in the theater being like, oh shit. Like, oh shit. Unfortunately, there was that moment, and there was the moment with the trick-or-treating neighbor where he just like fucking pulls her head back and like
Oh,
the
yeah.
knife goes through her throat. And then
Amazing.
like, those were two moments where I was like, oh damn. Like,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think the movie sustains that.
No. Yeah, there's great kills. I thought the trailer when it first came out, that got me super hyped. I thought it was a really good trailer. Like, when he gets the mask out of the thing and then the theme starts playing, it's like, oh fuck. Like, But yeah,
Yeah, but can we talk about that scene now? I hate that scene. I genuinely think in the trailer it looked cool. In the context of the movie, it is broad daylight at a gas station outside of right off a main road with cars driving by.
Yeah.
And Michael gets the mask out of the fucking trunk and puts it on his face in the parking lot. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God. But I do love
How,
the bathroom sequence. That shit's
yeah,
terrifying,
that's great.
bro.
Very, very good. Do you like the opening? Because I've seen some people say it's cartoonish and like goofy, but like
I like it up until the point where he starts going, say something, and you've got like Figaro, like, dude, that shit is. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cringe. But
that
everything
stuff's
else up to that
bad.
point was good.
Yeah, that stuff's bad, but the needle drop of him screaming "say something" into the theme, I do like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. But yeah, 3 stars for me. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's okay.
Painfully, I think you said it right. Painfully mediocre.
Yeah. Also, one quick thing. What the fuck was the point of Allison going in the forest and screaming at mannequins?
There was none.
Okay.
There,
Yeah,
there,
that's what I
there,
thought.
there was none. Like there's genuinely no reason for that scene to exist at all.
No.
It does nothing
No.
for the movie. We already know they're outside Lori's house. Like we
Yeah.
know that. We know they're close to Lori's house. Like we're aware of that. We don't need like, wow,
Yeah.
she just fell on this mannequin and then screamed at it. Like did
Yeah.
the dumbass think it
That's
was a
stupid.
person? Was that what you were trying? Awful. All right, Jaden, tee us off with Halloween Kills.
All right. The only Halloween to be firmly within the era of COVID, 2021
Yes.
was when this one came out. And because of COVID, it was released on Peacock day and date with theaters. So, as a big Halloween nut, I had to see this on Peacock first. I knew it wasn't going to be as great as in a theater, but when it was like 12 a.m. or whatever and a new Halloween was out, I was not going to fucking wait. Um, and I really did not like this movie when I first saw it. A lot of the goofy little side characters, the funny little guys like um the old couple
Big John and
and
Little John,
Big
or
John and
no,
Little
no.
John. I don't know. The tone was just way too goofy for me. Like Evil Dies Tonight. I was not vibing with it. I thought it was too over the top for a Halloween movie because I kind of think of Halloween as a bit more cerebral, I guess, and maybe that's my fault. But the kills are incredible. Like Michael himself is that's one of the best Michael Myers performances in the franchise for sure. Um, but I don't know. I really didn't like it. But as time goes on, I think out of this trilogy, it might be my favorite because it is the most fun, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of popcorn fun to be had here. I like Big John and Little John now. I still don't like the old couple. I think their dialogue's pretty cringy and not funny. Um, but I don't know. I mean, there's good kills. It sucks that Laurie doesn't do much, but I actually like Judy Greer in this, and I like that she actually gets to get some sort of character development because she didn't in the first one at all. Um, but yeah, nowadays I'd probably give it like a 3.5, I think, because I do like it, but I don't think it's great. But it's fun enough for me to, have a good time with it.
Okay. Lot to unpack there. Um,
Yeah.
so Halloween Kills for me was a movie that I mean, frankly, I even as someone that wasn't big into 2018, like at all, and that's no secret, I was like really stoked for this one. And I think part of that was the marketing. I think they killed it with the marketing in this movie. Like the trailers looked amazing, and I was confident that we were going to get something different. They got their member berries nostalgia ride out of the way the last time. Now they can start to build this out and kind of tell more of their own story. And I was right. This definitely in a lot of ways feels different than 2018. Michael's turned up to 11. I mean, they really took this and they were like, you know what? This guy is the fucking king. Let's make him look like the king.
Yeah.
And they do. The effects are awesome. The mask is awesome. Just like 2018, though, Lori, I'm not a fan. She's super melodramatic and over the top in this movie. Allison, just like in 2018, she just kind of exists. There is a lot of dialogue in this movie that is just like, it's true. Like people say, like, oh, people bring this up all the time. Like it's really not that big a deal. It's a lot.
Evil dies tonight.
And I mean, it's an issue with the writing. I don't think the performances are bad. People shit on Anthony Michael Hall all the time. No, I actually think he did fine. It's just the character, the way it was written. It's like, it's very similar to Busta with Resurrection. Like, I don't think Busta did a bad job. I think the way they wrote the character was just questionable at best. And so there is a lot about this movie that's just kind of like, I could do without that. But I wanted a fun slasher movie that didn't seem like it was so beholden to what we had seen in the past. And Halloween Kills 100% delivered on that for me. Furthermore, Halloween Kills is a movie that I went in with such low expectations after 2018. I had just like reset my expectations entirely. And I was like, please just give me something fun, that I think it really colored my opinion on the movie. Like I just was able to, because it did that. I was like, thank God. That's really all I was asking for. There is largely no plot to this movie. This movie is the definition of a bridge movie, and it feels like it, where it's like this is filling in the gaps between the beginning of the story and the end of the story. But a bridge movie can be fun, and this one was. And then as the years have gone on, I'm just like, dude, the music's killer. Michael's killer. I like Cameron. Hated him in 2018. Actually, really like him in this one. Robert Longstreet as Lonnie, great. Like, genuinely great. And I think he gives probably the best performance in this movie. Like, I'm just going to be real with you.
For sure.
Big John and Little John, comedy that actually worked. That wasn't super crass and over the top. Like, it actually worked. It was more dry humor. But like, I feel like that was Danny McBride actually in his bag, where it was like, it wasn't peanut butter on my penis. You know what I mean? Like it was a little more nuanced than that. And I dug that. Also, Halloween's first on-screen gay couple, shout out.
Yeah.
Took 43 years, but
yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. I love this movie. I have such a fun time with this movie. And yeah, it's a 4. It's a 4 for me. It's a solid 4.
That's fair. All right, man.
What did you give a star rating?
I gave it a 3.5, but the more I'm thinking about it, I might join you with the 4 because it is really fun. Like, I think it might be one of the most fun movies.
I can't wait to watch it next week. Like, I really can't.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the easiest to rewatch out of this like new trilogy for sure.
Wow.
Well, for most people.
And then I get to tee us off with the last Halloween movie at this point.
Yep.
Halloween Ends. A movie that I was scared of. I had a really good time with Kills. I heard all the chatter about how they were really switching it up with this one. And I was like, why? Why? You're doing too much. Just give me what you gave me with Kills again. No. To say that my expectations were on the floor going into this movie would be an understatement. I was worried. You've listened to Unita for years. You heard me and Christian both talking before this movie came out about how we were worried about this. Like, I was like, genuinely in agony. Like, they're going to give me the worst Halloween movie, aren't they? It's going to be worse than Resurrection. Like, why do this to me, Blumhouse? And for, a handful of people, they will say it is worse than Resurrection. If that's your opinion, I respect it. But like objectively, on a technical level, no, it's not. Resurrection is the worst made Halloween movie. It just is.
Yep.
So I went into this movie nervous. And I can tell you when it all clicked for me. I'll never forget being in the theater the moment the movie just completely made sense was in the sewer when Michael stabs the cock. The cock.
What?
Stabs the cop. Holy shit. What? Stabs the cop and does like I said cock because I was thinking of like his shimmy and how they said that was him like
Yeah.
getting turned on. But when he did that, and I'm sitting in the theater watching that, I literally got chills. And I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm in. And I love this movie, man. I love the shit out of this movie. I'll agree with people. They should have introduced the character of Corey Cunningham earlier in this trilogy. They should have. This is clearly an example, a bright, shining example of they didn't exactly know how they were going to wrap up this story. No matter what they tell you, they did not fucking know. I agree that I agree about that. I also agree that it is jarring that Lori has taken the tact now that she has where she's like, I'm going to move past it because people are like, that should have been her in 2018. And then 2018's Lori should have been Ins' Lori. I can hear that argument. I'm not saying I agree, so I'll reword that. But I can hear that argument. I will give credence to that argument and go, I can see that. I don't agree, but I can see it. However, some of the complaints about this movie are fucking lame, dude. Like, I'm just going to be real with you. If you don't like the story decision, that's fine. You don't have to. I'm not here to tell you need to. But like you and I can admit some of these arguments by the detractors, they're stupid. They're smooth brain shit. Corey manhandles Michael Myers. Yes. Corey manhandles a 65-year-old man that almost died in the last movie. He's a what? 19, 21-year-old, or he's a 21-year-old. Pretty built. I don't know if you've seen Ron Campbell. He's a pretty built dude. Yeah. I don't think that's all that like far-fetched. Maybe people were shocked because they hadn't seen it with Michael before, but I don't think it's that far-fetched, like physically. Corey gets bullied by band kids. I mean, not really. That's a really reductive way of looking at it. It's more so that he doesn't engage with it because, he already has the moniker of being a kid killer, and these are minors. Like, the last thing you want to do when people think you're a kid killer is, all right, I'm going to knock these 16-year-olds out. Like, no.
Yeah.
Probably don't want to do that. And then the weakest part of the movie for me is the finale. I'm just gonna be real with you. I was so into the Corey story. I was just like, I don't need this fight. Like, it's a good fight, well choreographed, and like Lori gets her ultimate win here. Although I think it was better in H2O. But yeah, I was just kind of like, once Corey died, I was like, damn. It's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. I get that, but dude, I love Halloween Ends. It's the only, whether you love or hate this movie, everyone should be able to admit it's the only one out of the trilogy where they actually tried to put their own spin on things, try to tell their own story, try to tread new ground. Maybe it didn't work for you, but this is the movie where they tried. Kills, there was no effort. It was just like, Michael, swing your dick around for an hour and 45 minutes. All right. 2018, it was like, let's try to be Halloween again. And Ends was like, let's do our own thing. Love it. Fucking love it. 5 out of 5. Absolutely love it. Now piss me off, Jaden.
So, I remember when I saw this in theaters with my girlfriend. She had watched all the Halloween movies with me up to this. Okay, girlfriend. She had watched all the movies with me up to this point. And we both came out of it like, I think we liked that because she loves romantic films, right? And this is like the least horror-y Halloween movie. Like, in some ways, a lot of this is like a romantic drama and thriller, and then there's some slasher stuff put in there, and it's very interesting. So when I came out of it, I'm like, I kind of like that, but as a Halloween movie, it's really weird. Where I sit on it today, it's on the It's on the like line between 3.5 and 4 because I still don't like Michael being manhandled, and I get you explained it well. It's weird for me, dude. Like that's like,
Look at Rowan Campbell. Do you think you could beat his ass?
do I think I could?
Yeah.
No, but I'm not Michael Myers.
Okay. But do you think that in your current state, you could put up a good fight against Ends as Michael Myers, given where he was after kills?
I don't know, dude. I mean, the way they wrote him, maybe I get, but
Yeah, the way they wrote him. That's what I'm saying. So
I
the universe
know
they
it's
created, it
weird.
makes sense.
No, it does. It does make sense. I think I'll just never get over seeing Michael look weak. It always kind of felt weird to me in any of the
Yeah, but
movies.
it's temporary, Jaden. He comes back at the end and kills Corey.
He does. I think the relationship between Corey and Allison is pretty phenomenal. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Allison is actually a character.
She gets something
which
to
is-
fucking do. They gave Andy
Yeah.
Macichik something to do.
And she's great, dude. She's
Yes.
legitimately awesome in this movie.
Did you realize? I didn't realize until this movie, but like there was a scene in this movie. I texted Christian after I saw the movie for the first time. I was like, I didn't realize that Andy Macichik was packing so much heat. If you know what I mean? She's packing some heat,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
oh damn. All right.
Uh,
And they shot a sex scene. Did you know that?
no, I didn't.
They
Huh.
shot a sex scene of Allison
It would
and
make
Corey.
sense.
And
in this movie.
It was that night where he comes to the house after, I believe, what happened in the sewer, and
Yeah.
and like they make out or whatever, and they go upstairs. They shot a sex scene, or no, maybe
You
that was
know-
was that after the sewer? I can't remember. I'm gonna watch it again next week. But like, I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, come on, dude, I wanted to see that.
Well,
You
like
know?
I typically like when sex scenes are in movies, they can feel forced. I actually feel like it would have fit really well in this movie with their relationship.
Well, David
for
Gordon
sure.
Green actually said it just didn't work. It didn't fit. And I'm like, I don't know. This was kind of like
That's
a
kinda
dark
bullshit.
romance. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
definitely would have.
Yeah, and I wanted to see more Andy, you know? I'm just gonna put
Yeah,
it out
more of
there.
Andy, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Corey's butt cheeks, bro. Come on.
Yeah, dude, you love Corey. The opening
He's a good
is
looking
like,
dude, you know, whatever. I'm
yeah,
comfortable
he
with my
is.
sexuality, Jaden. I can say that.
The opening's crazy, dude. It's not really Halloweeny, but holy shit.
Dude,
When I saw that in theaters, I laughed out
it
loud.
was so loud too. In the theater.
Yeah.
When he hit the ground, it was like boom. I was like, holy
Yeah.
fuck.
That shocked the shit out of me and I loved it.
Oh man.
Great like credits, like opening credits. I love the end credits ending with like Don't Fear the Reaper instead of the
Dude,
Halloween theme. So cool.
People gave me shit when I did my review immediately after the movie because I said like I actually kind of got misty eyed as soon
Yeah.
as Don't Fear the Reaper started playing. I'm sitting in the theater, the screen goes dark, and I hear down, 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 and I was like,
It's
"Oh
awesome.
man, oh man, that hit me where it needed to."
Mhm. Yeah. Lori gets to actually have a romantic love interest, like an interesting one for the first time ever in the franchise.
They should have given him
Um,
more to do in this movie, though.
They should have, but the stuff we do get of him is good, I think.
Oh yeah, their
Um,
scene in the grocery store is literally fantastic. Lori's like
Yeah, it's adorable.
she's like a schoolgirl. Like she, you know,
Yeah.
it's I dig it. Like she's nervous and like
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is my third favorite Lori, I think, after the original and then Rob's remake, like or Halloween 2. But I think this is my third favorite because I really like her in this role. I think the big issue with this movie, and I don't know if I fully agree with this wording, but I've heard people say it almost feels like the trilogy should have been in reverse. I do think things could have been shifted around where this trilogy is cohesive because it really isn't. It doesn't make any fucking sense as a trilogy of movies. There are good moments, but it makes more sense if Lori is broken to me at the end of this series after seeing her daughter die and all the bullshit she went through versus something that happened 40 years before.
I'm
I think
gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this argument for this because I've felt this way since the first time I watched it. I disagree. I did admit that I can see why people would feel that way. I can hear you out on that.
Mhm.
But I actually think it makes more sense for her to be this way in Ends because in 2018 and in Kills, she is in that mode. that warrior mode. I'm going to come get him. I'm getting my revenge. I'm waiting for Michael. And if this character is smart, if this character learns anything, she would learn that where did that get her? Everyone around her died again. Everyone. She almost died. She realized in Halloween Kills, and it's also really important, she doesn't find out till the end of Halloween Kills from Hawkins, it was never about you. He didn't show up at your house tonight because he wanted you. Like, that moment in that movie is Laurie realizing, like, wait, so I mean nothing to this dude? Like, I dedicated 40 years thinking he wanted me. He was after me, but he wasn't. Like, it was never about me. And me wasting 40 years of my life and ruining my relationship with my daughter and my granddaughter for what? For nothing. For absolutely nothing. So I actually thought it made more sense because it was her way of basically being like, no, I think that kind of broke her in a way, like in a good way. I mean, like to where she realized like, this isn't working. I have to like, I don't know. It just makes sense to me. It really does. Like, I really do feel like this Lori would be like, it got me nowhere. It got me nowhere. And I obsessed over somebody that I meant nothing to. Nothing. Like, yeah, I think that would get you, I don't know. I hear you on it, but I think it makes sense.
I think that's fair. I do think that we could have had a scene with her mourning her daughter. Like
Yeah,
in
you don't
one of
say.
these, because like it's a couple years later, I believe, right? Isn't there a time jump between
Yeah, 3 years.
kills? Yeah, and we don't see anything with her reflecting on her daughter or crying or anything. Like it kind of just was a thing that happened. Um, but also the whole like it was never about you. Like I don't really get that because in the first movie, it's very clearly he's obsessed with Lori. Like he's not trying to go home or whatever the fuck. Like he's actively following her and like wants her.
He decided she was his target because she crossed his path. And I think it was more just like a predator and prey, where it was like, you've locked in on the prey. You got to get it now. Like you're not going to, it's like when you go fishing, you don't hook the fish and then just cut the line. No, you reel it in. Like that's just what you do. Like Michael was like, he decided he was going to kill this person. So he wanted to kill him. But after he'd been incarcerated for 40 years, if he breaks out, he never ends up at Laurie's compound that night if Sartain doesn't take him there. He never does.
No, I know.
And so it's just like, that was really important. And I feel like that doesn't get mentioned enough when people talk about this trilogy. And it infuriates me because it's like, guys, that's that moment in Kills at the end when he is telling Laurie, it's not about you. Don't you get it? Like, he doesn't give a fuck about you. That's important for Laurie to hear because up to that point, she was working off of that framework that you just mentioned, that he's out to get me. He has been for 40 years. No, he was, I guess, fascinated by you and wanting to kill you back then. Yes. But he did that to your friends too. He just went down the line until he got to you. You just got away. He doesn't know who you are. Like, he doesn't know that's Laurie Strode. She lives at, like, no, he doesn't know. It was just, he was just hyper fixated on you. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the problems that stemmed from ends weren't actually about ends for me. It was about the trilogy as a whole. I don't think the trilogy as a whole is good, to be honest. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's great. And like you were saying, the end stretch of this movie is not that, like, the fight is whatever to me. Them like grinding him up, like I didn't care about any of that. I like the actual ending with Laurie having peace finally. But I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give it a 4. But that's it, dude. That's every Halloween movie up to this point.
As much as we've argued over the years about like opinions on Halloween movies, we're actually pretty close on like all of these. Like, I think people expected us to be like at each other's throats. So I've already given my ranking. I will do it again. But Jaden, rank these movies from worst to best.
All right, we got 13 movies here. 13th, it should be no surprise, Halloween Resurrection. I'm not gonna say anything. Number 12, and I feel like this is where people would probably get pissed off. Halloween H2O. It's just like I don't know, like I don't have the nostalgia and love I feel like a lot of people have for this movie, and I feel like because it's the 20th anniversary, because it came out when people were kids, that's where a lot of the love for this movie comes from. I think it's a bad Halloween movie with some cool moments, but yeah. Number 11, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Um, it's a fine remake. There's some good stuff in the Smith's Grove. The beginning part sucks, and it's a good movie, but not a great one. Number 10 is Halloween 2018. Uh, plays it safe for the most part, but there are some great kills, and I think the hype of Halloween coming back and this being my first in theaters definitely puts it a bit above Rob Zombies for me. Uh, number what am I on? 9?
9.
9. Halloween Ends. Yeah, 9. Halloween Ends. But again, this is a 4-star, so it's not. It's not like I hate this movie. It's a 4-star. That's a very good rating. But
I prayed that he would burn in hell.
it's good. It's just um I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't think it's as fun as Kills, which is my number 8 is Halloween Kills. I don't think it's as fun as Kills. I think Michael Myers is better in Kills, and I like that. I think Halloween Ends is this perfect little contained story, but as a Halloween movie, it's not towards the top of my ranking. Um, number 8, Kills. It's the most fun slashery Halloween movie. Number 7, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Um, I love Michael in this. I love the atmosphere of this movie. I like seeing Donald Pleasance one last time. I think Paul Rudd is great. The family we follow is okay. They're not amazing, but still like good enough for me to be interested. Uh, number or that was number 7. Number 6 is Halloween 3 for me. This would have been like towards the bottom of my ranking, like last year even. But this last rewatch, Halloween 3, was super fun. Also phenomenal ending. I don't think we talked about that when we were talking about it, but him stop it.
Where's it at?
Pretty great. Number
That's
5.
That's not Christian. That's not Christian. That's from the movie, guys.
Yeah. Number 5, the original Halloween 2. One of my most nostalgic Halloween movies. I won't say my most nostalgic, I'll get to that, but I have a lot of love for this movie. I don't love some of the 80s slasher gore stuff in it, but there are good scenes of tension. Michael and Loomis are good in this movie. There's enough here for me. Number 4 is Halloween 4. My favorite character, or my favorite final girl in the franchise, is in this movie. That's where she first gets her start, and Jamie is awesome in this movie. The ending's great. And yeah, like we were saying, it's very cozy. It's like an old friend. Number 3, and this is like weird putting it here because it's so new to me, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I never thought I'd see the
Just calm down. Calm down.
but genuine, phenomenal, dramatic performance from our main heroine in the story. It's fucking phenomenal. But number 2, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Easily my most nostalgic in this franchise. I love this movie so much. Jamie's fantastic in it. I don't care that people say it's bad. They're wrong. This is a 5-star for me. And number 1, the greatest horror film ever created. My favorite film of all time. A genuine perfect horror movie in every aspect. The original Halloween.
Okay. So trying to remember mine off dome.
Resurrection 2.
So at 13 was Resurrection. At 12 is 2018. And I've said my piece on all these things, guys. So watch my ranking video if you really want to know why I put them where I put them. Although I feel like I did a good job explaining it here. At 11 is Rob Zombie's Halloween. At 10 is Halloween H2O. At 9 is this is where it got murky for me. It's either Halloween 2 or Halloween 4.
Did you say Rob Zombies yet?
Yeah, Rob Zombie's Halloween was 11.
Okay.
10 is H2O. Just how I'm feeling today. I'm gonna say 9 is Halloween 4. 8 is Halloween 2 from 1981. 7 is Halloween Kills. 6 is Halloween 6. 5 is Halloween 3. 4 is Halloween Ends. 3 is Halloween 5. 2 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And 1 is the one, the only, the classic Halloween. My favorite movie ever. Gets me excited. My nipples could cut through glass. That's all I got with that. Jaden, we went well over 2 hours with this Halloween Super Show retrospective. For any of you guys that made it to the 2 hour and 15-minute mark, you're a trooper. You are. You must love the Halloween franchise as much as we do. I know these longer form videos, getting people to watch them all the way through, whether that's this, whether that's Unita, it's difficult sometimes, a lot of people have the attention span of goldfish. I get it. But before we go, I mean, the Halloween franchise as a whole, do you think it's the greatest franchise?
Yeah, I do. I think it's the greatest horror franchise. It's my favorite film franchise, period. Greatest, like objectively, no, but it's by far my favorite.
Who you think? So in your opinion.
In my opinion, it's the greatest. I don't know, man. Like even the bad or the ones that people perceive as bad, I can find good in outside of one. And yeah, I mean, none of these movies I'm ever gonna say no to if anybody asks me to watch them with them. Like it's and it
Even
might seem
Resurrection?
honestly no. I would watch Resurrection with people. That sounds kind of fun. But yeah, it might seem weird for people to say that this slasher franchise where this dude in a mask is brutally killing people is cozy, but it just is. I don't know. I grew up with these movies. I've loved them ever since I first saw them, and I will till the day I die.
Okay, well, I agree. It's my favorite franchise. Objectively speaking, is it the best? Well, no, but I would argue that no horror franchise is.
No,
There are ones that are probably more consistent than Halloween, like Scream
for
and
sure.
Evil Dead. However, I would say that for me personally, I think the highs of Halloween are some of the highest highs in horror. Like the original Halloween, I mean, you don't get much better than that. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, for me, you don't get much better than that. Whereas, like, the greatest Friday the 13th movie, I don't even think the greatest Friday the 13th movie sniffs the original Halloween. I mean,
Nope.
I'm just going to be real with you. I don't think. Now, Nightmare, it's closer because there's some truly great Nightmare movies, but still, I'd take the original
They
Halloween
don't sniff
over,
them.
over any
Yeah.
Nightmare movie. But that's just me. I'm a Halloween fan. So I'm biased. But that's where we stand with Halloween, guys. So I shudder to put this out there, but let us know down below what you guys think. What did we say tonight that really pissed you off? What did we say tonight that you agreed with? And anything else in between? We may do a pop-up show next week. There is a chance of that. I'd say a pretty good chance, honestly. But I'll get with Jaden to talk about that. So we both hope you guys are enjoying your October. Soak it up, man. Watch as much as you can. Live in the moment. Because you don't know when you're going to die. So, right, Jaden?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll leave the people with this.
Seeing goblins, appreciating goblins, succubus with goblins.
And we don't want no problems. Okay, you're a goon. What's a goon?